listening to the nation's premier source on health, beauty, and wellness. Detroit Nation with Dr. B. Elaine Arterberry. Lifestyle driven.
For beauty, health, wellness, and lifestyle, we are committed to showcasing individuals that are driving the nation, that are from Detroit, and are committed to change in our city and the nation. I'm delighted to have on the show today Florence Mark, who is the founder and president and CEO of Weight Watchers. Welcome, Florence. I'm so glad you're here today.
Oh, I'm so glad to be with you. It's a beautiful day here. It's a little bit of white snow coming down, and it's just great to be in Michigan and great to be in Detroit.
Oh, absolutely.
I was born and raised in Detroit on Elmhurst and Linwood.
Oh, my goodness, right in the city.
Right in the city.
Well, isn't it wonderful to see sort of the gentrification and revitalization of this great city?
It's terrific. I took a tour with 18 family members yesterday on a bus with Linda Yellen, who was our tour guide who lives downtown, and we saw everything. And these the relatives were from out of town, and many of them were born and raised here and then moved away, and they were absolutely shocked and delighted to see and we saw everything. You know, we went from Shinola and Wills and Midtown to downtown, the ice skating rink, and we went to the Art Deco building, and all the fabulous things that are, and all the people around, and all colors, all races, all religions, everybody happy, everybody walking around together, and I'm just so excited about Detroit. I love it.
It's exciting to see the rebirth of such a great city with a waterfront, with a vibrant downtown, and so many people are moving here from other cities. It's phenomenal.
Yes, it is. And of course, the auto show, had brought a lot of people, and it was exciting to see that. And with our lions and our tigers and our Red Wings and all of the and we Detroiters, no matter if we're winning or losing, we just support all of our athletics in Detroit, and it's just, we're just great people here in Detroit. We really are.
I know. It's great, and I'm so glad you're part of Detroit Nation Radio. We're totally committed to showcasing people from Detroit that are impacting the nation, and we're delighted that you're our guest today. I wanted to ask you about Weight Watchers. Sort of, how did you get started? Who sort of inspired you? How did you start Weight Watchers?
Elaine, I was 50 pounds overweight all my life. My mother tells a story that she always teases me all the time, that I was born so fat that she used to buy my diapers in Lane Bryant's. And, I was just a fat kid, came into a fat family. We were very, 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 very poor, so I lived with 13 family members, all in one house. And everybody was loving and caring, but the best room in the house was the dining room, and, eating was a thrill of a lifetime every single meal. My grandmother was a great cook. She did the cooking for all of us. My mother was a great cook, and I was just fat, and I didn't even realize I was fat until I went to school, and then I realized I was the fattest kid in class. And they used to nickname me Fat Flo, and they would say FF. That was bullying. We didn't know that it was bullying in those days, and I used to come home and cry, and my parents and my aunts and uncles that I lived with all would just love me some more. And so it was a counteraction of the things that happened in school with the kids that made me so sad, and the love that I used to get at home. Well, my mother finally allowed me to go to a diet doctor. 9 times I took diet pills until I was in my late teens. And I lost that 50 pounds 9 times before. That's almost 500 pounds in my lifetime. And I married it. I graduated high school. I was always studious, and I loved school, and, just blocked out the kids that called me Fat Flo, and studied a lot. And my sister got polio when I was 11. She was 9. I'd been working, taking care of the house, studying. I was an old soul by that time. So I graduated high school at 16. Got married in June. I graduated in June, birthday in February, graduated in June, got married in August, and by the following year, when I was 17, I had my first child.
Oh, wow.
And then I went up and down and up and down, and ended by 25. I had 5 children, and I was still that 50 pounds overweight. I'd lost it, and I gained it, and I lost it, and I gained 65 pounds with each child, and ended up with a deep thrombophlebitis in one leg because I ate too much. And the doctor told me it was going to happen, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know what to do.
And
My husband-in-law had a real bad business backup, and I had to go to work to help feed my kids. And I figured, who's going to hire me, Elaine, at size 20? I figured, oh my God, I am ugly, I'm stupid, I'm dumb. Because you see, when you're overweight, that's what you tell yourself. I never thought about how I was a good person, I was a good mother, I was a good daughter. I was smart. I ran businesses. I've been working since. I never thought about all the good things. All I thought about, I am dumb, stupid, terrible because I can't stop eating all that ice cream and all the peanuts and all the other things, that I used to eat. And I heard about this thing called Weight Watchers in New York. It had just started about a few years before. It was only in New York. I took my last bit of money. I called them. They wouldn't let me have the diet here in Detroit, and there was nobody in Detroit that, no Weight Watchers. And so I commuted to New York. I went once a month for 4 months, and it was a very hard diet. It was very strict. It was really very difficult. But, I did it. And in 4 months, I lost 40 pounds, and the founder then in New York, Mrs. Jean Knightish, who unfortunately just passed away, wonderful woman, said, why don't you take this back to Detroit? And I said, oh my God, I got a fat family. I'm going to do it. By this time, losing the weight without pills and all the other crazy diets, the cabbage diet, cabbage soup diet, and the Atkins diet, and this drinking, I went on all the, everything you could possibly think of to lose weight before. And here I was eating. I was eating bread, and I was eating fish, and I was eating vegetables and meat and fruits and beans and anything, it was really in limited quantities and limited foods also, because today you can have everything. In those days, I couldn't have watermelon, mayonnaise, so many things that we like to eat every single day. And so I lost the weight, and they said, why don't you take this back to Detroit? And I was so full of self-respect, because that's what you get when you do something that you think you can't do and you become successful. I wanted to do what you do, Elaine. I wanted to be on the radio. I wanted to be on TV. I like to write. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to go work for a newspaper. But I thought, you know what? I'll bring this back to Detroit. I'll have one class, my whole family. I'll help them lose weight and feel good. And then I'm going to go out and get a job. And, well, I had that first meeting on Tuesday, and there were 30 people that came. I put a big sign in a candy store that said, come lose weight with Weight Watchers. I was so full of self-respect, I convinced the candy store owner to let me put a sign in his window, and 30 people came, and the following week 60 people came, and people were saying, you're changing my life. I feel so much better. I've never had this wonderful experience in my life, and I just knew this is what I wanted to do the rest of my life, to make people healthy and happy and feel good, and this was my calling. And that's when I started opening more classes. And by the way, I did most of the work myself for the first 6 months, because everyone that works with me at Weight Watchers, all the coaches, leaders, receptionists, even my administrative secretary, my CFO, everybody has had a weight problem, sat in our classes, lost the weight, and then gone through our training and then come to work for us, because a teacher can never tell and never teach and only tell unless they practice what they preach. So everybody that works with me knows how you feel, that person walking in saying, oh my God, what am I doing here? I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. I'm not that fat. But we know, because we've been there before. And that's how my life started.
That is a great story. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back.
Elaine, excuse me, I can barely hear you.
We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute.
Detroit
Elaine,
Nation
can you make
with
it
Dr.
louder?
B. Elaine Arterberry, driving the nation to health, beauty, and wellness.
This is Dr. Elaine Arterberry from Detroit Nation Radio. We're back with Florene Mark. President and CEO of Weight Watchers, and we're hearing about the story about what started Weight Watchers. But you have sort of a tagline that, what do you mean when you talk about people going beyond the scale? This weight loss journey, it's beyond just losing the pounds, isn't it?
Absolutely. The scale is just a metal thing, and you get on it, and it's it tells you if you've lost a pound or gained a pound, and your body has hormonal changes, both men and women. And one day you lose a pound, the next day you could gain 2, and it has nothing to do with what you're eating. It has a lot to do with the changes in your body. Maybe your have a little more water retention, maybe the weather outside. It's a whole bunch of stuff. So we decided the scale was not the most important thing in our lives. And in fact, I never weigh myself, but maybe once a month is when I weigh myself. I can tell how I feel in my clothes, and I know what I eat. So we decided that healthy living and teaching people how to like themselves every single day. It's not when you lose the weight or when you get a better job or when if you're going through a crisis with a health problem or something. It's every single day enjoying life and learning to live it. And I always take one day at a time. I wrote a book called Talk to the Mirror because every morning I get up and talk to the mirror. You can buy it on Amazon.com. It's not a diet book. It's a book that will help you gain life every single day. And every morning when I get up, I look in the mirror and I say, "Good morning, Florine. Today's going to be a good one." And you can do whatever you want if you want to do it bad enough for one day. And I never ask myself to do anything for more than one day. And the next day I get up and make another commitment. And beyond the scale, that's what we're helping you with. We're helping you learn about who you are and what you are and taking care of yourself, because that's so very important. And that's our new program. And along with it, instead of Points Plus, we have what we call Smart Points now, because we want you to eat smarter. And if you've never been to Weight Watchers, it's very simple. Every food is equated to points. You get so many points to eat every single day, and when you're through with your points, with the number of points, you've eaten them all fruits and vegetables are 0 points, because they have all the antioxidants and wonderful things inside of them. I carry a bag of veggies with me, red peppers and celery and cherry stone tomatoes and green beans, fresh green beans, whatever I can get. Broccoli, I just throw them in a bag, and they're with me all the time. I even take them to bed. If I'm hungry, I'll get it before I go to bed, or when I'm reading and I really want something, so I'll have some red peppers. And you know what? They make me feel good. In the morning when I get up, I like myself. I say, "Boy, you did it yesterday. You can do it for one more day." And Smart Points is really fabulous, because what we've done now, and I've seen that the FDA has come out with some new guidelines, and we came out with it even way before. We are really concentrating on having you eat less sugar and more protein and less saturated fat. So the foods that used to be lower in calories, like ice cream, half a cup of ice cream, I think was 3 points, is now 7 points. But a chicken breast, a nice chicken breast, which used to be 5 points, is now 2 points. So you can have more of the good stuff, and we're trying to little by little. And the most important thing about Weight Watchers is going to the meetings. When you go to the meetings, and it's only a half an hour once a week, when you go, you become accountable. And the meeting is really the group. The group really owns the meeting. The leader or the coach is there to help the group along. And you meet people, and you bond with people, and you see other people that are going through the very same thing. You don't have to think, "God, I'm the only person in the whole world that wants to eat a half a gallon of ice cream or can eat it," or "I'm the only person in the whole world that finishes the whole box of candy or eats the whole cake," because there are other people that have done these things and they've conquered it. And the meetings are extremely important. I go to a meeting once a month and have for the last 30 years. And I get on that scale, and I listen, I say, I just am here as Florine Mark member, and it always helps me to continue on in this wonderful journey. You see, I fight the war every single day. Many days it's very easy, and some days, my husband died of Lou Gehrig's disease, and he laid for 2 years and couldn't move anything but blink his eyes. And I worked from home, and I took care of him. It was very stressful. My mind said to me all the time, go eat some ice cream, you'll feel better. But my other half of my brain said to me, you know what, you eat that ice cream, you're going to hate yourself in the morning. And so I didn't eat it, and I learned. But I went to a Weight Watchers meeting every week. So during that period, that's the only time I went out, is to go to a Weight Watchers meeting. And, it helped me to understand myself and my needs and know that I don't have to eat the mashed potatoes and all the other fattening things in big quantities. Now, you can eat them all, of course. Count your points. I mean, Sunday night, it's pizza and wine here in my house, and my whole family comes over, and Buddy's makes a wonderful thin-crusted Florence pizza, they call it. And
that's
all
wonderful.
the proceeds from that, by the way, go to ALS, to research this terrible disease. And so we'll have the pizza and the wine, and I count my points, and life is good. Life is good, and I love Weight Watchers.
I think it's great. One of the things that's so interesting about Weight Watchers is that not only do people lose 8 times more weight than they do with other programs, is that they're successful at keeping it off. Isn't it sort of a two-phase thing? You have to lose the weight, and then you have to maintain. Which is more difficult, losing it or maintaining it? Once you've lost it.
What's difficult is your life on a day-to-day basis. And the easier part was losing it. But although I want to tell you, I lost 40 pounds in 4 months, and then it took me 1 year to lose the last 10, but I did it. So I want to stress to everybody, it's not important. You don't have, when you come to Weight Watchers, you don't have to get on the scale if you don't want to. And it's not important how long it takes you to lose the weight. It's important that you do it. And what we do is we help you to change your eating habits. For all my life, I was used to having ice cream when I'm stressed out. It was a habit.
Right.
It was something that I did day after day after day. And it took me, a while before I recognized that, a cup of tea and an apple or an orange or a baked apple makes me feel better than a half gallon of ice cream. And so I retrained my habits, and that's what we teach you. That's what we do in subliminally at Weight Watchers. You don't even realize it's happening, but you are changing your eating habits. We are teaching you better nutrition. We're teaching you how to make yourself feel good and look good. Your skin gets better. Oil, the good oils, olive oil, are very important. Whatever the good oils that you like, canola oil or safflower oil, they're important in your body. When you're dieting, you usually say, I'm not going to eat anything. I'm only going to drink whatever these smoothies are, and that's all. Or I'm going to fast, or I'm going to whatever. You can't do that. Your body is like a car. Your car is efficient, but if you don't put the proper amount of gas and oil and water in it, it's not going to run. It's just not going to run properly. And the same with your body. If you don't put the proper amount of protein, carbohydrates, and fats in your body every single meal, it's not going to run properly. And I'm a very energetic person. I play golf and tennis. I exercise every day. I have 7 children. I have lots of grandchildren now, and I can beat them in tennis, and I work every single day, and I love life. Life is so wonderful, and that's what I get by going to a Weight Watchers meeting, and that's what you get. You learn about yourself. You learn to change your eating habits, and you wake up one day and you say, hey, you know what? I don't need that ice cream anymore. I don't need that candy, or I don't need the whole pizza or that big piece of cake. I can have a half a piece. I can count my points, and it's part of me, and I can eat what I want, but I have all those wonderful fruits and vegetables if I'm hungry.
We're going to take a quick break. We're with Florence Mark, CEO and President of Weight Watchers. And when we get back, Florence, I want to talk about Oprah and Weight Watchers. We'll be back in 1 minute.
You are listening to Detroit Nation with Dr. V. Elaine Arterberry,
Or
driving the
Elaine,
nation
I
with
don't
health, beauty, and wellness.
This
It's
is
raining to hear you.
Oh, can you hear me?
No, it's very hard. I can't. Can you make it a little louder?
We're going to make it a little bit louder. What about now?
that much better.
Okay, great. So I wanted to ask you about Oprah. How hands-on were you with the Oprah Winfrey acquisition? And what do you
Well,
think Oprah brings?
it's really, it's such a wonderful thing. Oprah has resisted Weight Watchers all of her career, and she's been on all of these crazy diets. We've all seen her go up and down and up and down. And one year she did nothing but drink for about 4 or 5 months and lost 60 pounds. And as soon as she stopped drinking whatever the stuff was that she was drinking to lose weight, she never ate food, she gained all the weight back once she stopped drinking and started eating again. And she's done this, and all of a sudden I think she said to herself, you know what, I want my life to be better every single day, and I want to lose this weight, and I want to keep it off. And so she started Weight Watchers. She is losing weight, and she loved the company so much, and she loved it, and she knew it was going to be something that's going to change her life, that she decided to put her own money in. And so she bought 10% of the company. She put in $43 million.
Wow.
That's how much she believes in the company. And she's doing commercials for Weight Watchers, and she is losing weight. And it's important. You know, people say to me every time they see me, "How much did she lose?" It's not important how much she loses each week. And I don't think she wants or needs or knows anybody else, nor does anybody else, including every member. They don't want the pressure of, God, I've got to lose so much every week, or I've got to, lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks. I see the ads all over the place. Lose 30 pounds in 4 weeks, or 30 pounds in 5 weeks, or whatever else. We don't talk about that anymore. We never promise you that you're going to lose how much you're going to lose. You're going to lose what you want to lose, and in the time it takes you to lose it. And some days, some weeks it's going to be good. Some days it's going to be better. Some days or hours it's not going to be so good. But eventually you're going to lose it. Like I lost that 10 pounds. It took me a year. I had already lost 40 pounds, but it took me a year because I was I was careless. But I did it, and that's the important thing. So I know Oprah will lose the weight. She is a very smart woman. She would not spend $43 million to buy 10% of a company if she didn't really believe that it's something that's going to save her life and make her feel better and look better and be more energetic. And she's a fabulous woman, and we're going to all watch her, and we're not going to stress her out by saying, how much did you lose, how much did you lose? She will lose it. She will change her lifestyle. She will change her eating habits, just like all of you. And if she can do it, you know what? And if I can do it, so can you.
Well, I think the interesting story about Oprah is that it tells you this issue about weight. No matter how much money you have, success, fame, weight can be challenging. And no matter how much money and time, it's still a challenging effort. What advice did you personally give Oprah about her journey?
I have not met Oprah yet. She's in New York, and I'm here in Michigan. But I know I will soon. But I'm sure that she is going to meetings, and she's getting the same advice that we give everybody. She is a human being, a person. Just because you're absolutely right, Elaine. Just because you have lots of money doesn't mean that. I have a very dear friend that has very, very bad MS. He's very, very wealthy, like a billionaire, and all the money in the world cannot give him health, and all the money in the world cannot help you lose weight. It's what you do for yourself. So she will do this for herself in her time, and we all have to recognize that obesity is the #1 contributing cause to most diseases, and you especially know that, being an oncologist, because obesity could be a #1 challenge for cancer. You know what? It's for heart, for diabetes, for stroke, for everything. And women, you know this, Elaine, women that are much overweight have a much greater chance of getting many different kinds of cancers, and men too, and especially breast cancer. And, we did a study with Karamanos one year, and women who are overweight, very overweight, and we're taking chemotherapy, we're not getting all the benefits of the chemo. It wouldn't go through all the fat getting to where they needed to be. Women when we put these women on Weight Watchers and they lost weight, it really increased their chances of getting better treatments and living longer and enjoying life day by day by day.
Do you find, Florine, if you give people these tools, because I think Weight Watchers gives people tools for lifestyle change and is sort of a focus and a change agent, do you find that they improve in other aspects of their lives?
Oh, absolutely. It's just wonderful when you are successful and feel good about yourself. People say to me, Elaine, all the time, "What do you sell?" We sell self-respect. That's what you really get. Yes, you're going to lose the weight. Yes, you're going to get down. You'll get into your blue jeans that you want and wear the clothes you want. And I love clothes, and I love dressing every day. I'm not wearing, my husband's big old white shirts and big baggy pants anymore. I love wearing tighter clothes, and that makes you feel good. And everything else happens. I have people that call me, and I see we honor people that lost 50 to 100 pounds, 50 pounds or more. We have people that have lost 200 pounds, and we do 3 or 4 times a year in different areas in Detroit. And people that tell me all the time, you know what, I got a better job. I finally left the job that I wasn't happy in, and I got a better job, or I've started a business, or I'm playing more with my children. I'm seeing more of my friends. I'm feeling better. I'm doing things. My marriage is better. I mean, all wonder. When you like yourself, Elaine, it's easier to like other people. When you love yourself, it's so much better to help to love other people. So when you're hating yourself, you're an angry person, and your anger reflects to the things that you do around in your life and the people that you see in your life. So by losing your weight, it changes. For me, it changed my whole life. Absolutely changed my whole life.
I'm so interested in our audience being able to find out about your book, Talk to the Mirror. Where can people see you? Are you on TV?
Yes, I am. I'm every Monday. I'm on WDIV Channel 4 between about 5 after 6 to about 20 after 6. I'm in there someplace. It's in the NBC local news, and it's a program called Ask Florine. And the book that you can buy, Talk to the Mirror, is on Amazon.com. And I also do a Remarkable Woman show, which is a show, and I think a WNIC half-hour show on Remarkable Women. We're going to have to get you on, Elaine.
Oh, I'd love to be on.
And it's a wonderful show. It's on every Sunday. It was just on this morning. And it spotlights women who are doing things in their life. Not how much money you make or the great job that you have. It's what you're doing in your life, how you're giving back to the community. Because, once I lost my weight and I gained my self-respect, I recognized that part of my life and it's weekly, at least weekly, is giving back to the community. So I do a lot of philanthropic work, not only giving a check, but going out there and absolutely giving of my time. I belong to a group called Women of Tomorrow, and I mentor kids at Cody. I mentor young girls at Cody High School from the 9th grade to the 12th grade. I go to various organizations that I belong to, and, I give of my time. And I think that's very important for everybody out there. You don't have to have a lot of money. $1 a week, that's, one Starbucks or coffee less a week ends up, you $52 a year, and that helps maybe 50 people if you give it to Gleaners eat, which is people that don't have enough food, that are, really destitute. There's so many things that you can do. You can go to the hospital and volunteer once a month or once a week. I have a son that walks a dog at Henry Ford at West Bloomfield Hospital. They have a dog called Henry. He's a service dog. And my son goes in every Monday, I think it's Tuesday mornings, and he goes into the rooms where patients are, and they smile when they see the dog, and he talks to them. So there are little things that you can do to give back. So I don't only want to talk about helping you lose weight, because I know I can do that. You come to Weight Watchers meetings, I know that you will feel better, look better, and give yourself a gift of maybe a longer life. But I think that the important thing also along with that is giving back to the community, and I think that's extremely important for all of us, those of us that can, to help those that can't.
Florine, it was an absolute pleasure to talk to you today. Your insights and perspective on this journey that many men and women face with weight loss are absolutely fascinating. I wanted to thank you for coming on. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate all that you've done for people in the community, and it must be wonderful to have helped so many people conquer sort of this difficult issue.
Elaine, I really appreciate that, and you do wonderful things too, through your work as a doctor and through your work here as a lifestyle expert. And I want to tell everybody, if they want to get me, they can get me at 1-888-3-FLORINE, that's Florine, or on the web, it's 888-3florine.com. And there are people there, cost you nothing to make a phone call. Our receptionists, our people that answer the phone can help you, talk to you, tell you anything that you want to know. If you're a HAP member, you get special discounts at Weight Watchers. Many insurances like the Blues, many companies, we have many at work companies, at work classes, meetings where many companies say, you know, come and we'll do this for our employees. We send our leaders right to the workplace, and we have meetings right on the work spot for their employees. So if you're working for a company that doesn't have Weight Watchers, get your HR person or somebody, call us. We'd be more than happy to come over there, and just give us a call at 1-888-3-FLORINE.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Elaine, for having me.
I appreciate it. Thank you for being on. Hope to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is Dr. Elaine Arterberry for Detroit Nation Radio, bringing you a premier source of health, beauty, and wellness from Detroit. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 313 Nation Radio. And as always, achieve your personal best and beat it. See you next week.
Detroit Nation with Dr. V. Elaine Arterberry, driving the nation to health, beauty, and wellness. Lifestyle driven.